Hey there, my Stampin' friends. Susan here at Pumpkin Hill Stampers. So I have a Stampin' Show and Tell to share with you today. You've probably seen from other crafters something called the stack, cut, shuffle technique. So I've been wanting to do this for a while and I've decided to do it for you today. I'm going to be using the papers from Celebration. These are the softly stippled DSP papers. So these are samples. This is one side. Okay, so we've kind of got this wild wheat pattern. It's got some Lost Lagoon, some Pebbled Path, Pool Party in it, and then when we flip it over, these patterns have more of that Pool Party, some more of that wild wheat, and then we've got some patterns with Calypso Coral in them. So I have to be honest, they're not my favorite patterns, but I really think I'm going to like the way it works with this technique. So I'm going to go ahead and craft with you and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I've decided to use Wild Wheat and Lost Lagoon as my colors, and I'm going to make them with these three patterns of paper. Okay, so these three here. Now what I've done ahead of time is I've got my basic card bases, right, just half a sheet of cardstock, so it's 5.5 by 8.5, and then I've got a mounting piece in the coordinating color. This, I believe, I cut them yesterday, but let's see, they are 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So it's 1/8 of an inch shy of what I normally use as my mount, but that's because I wanted my DSPs to be 3 3/4 by 5. So I want a little more of that base card color to show as a frame. Okay, so now here's the stack, cut, shuffle part. So you're going to take your patterns, okay, and you're going to put them all together. Now they're all the same size, starting on the same size. Then you're going to take your paper cutter and you're going to cut through all three layers at the same time. So we're going to make 2 cuts, okay. I'm going to cut them on diagonals. Now this is why you cut them together, because it doesn't really matter what diagonals you use. You're going to use 2 diagonals, get 3 pieces of paper, but as long as you cut them all at the same time, you don't have to measure and mark and all that. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to first go, if I actually want to go to the corner, I don't think I actually want any of my cuts directly on the corner. So I'm going to line up my cutting line on, let's see, I'll go this way, on my DSP. So my DSP is at an angle. My cut's going to be straight down the cutting line, but this one's going to be up from the bottom and this one's going to be along that side. So I just put my cutting bar down, and now I'm going to press, and you might need to go more than once because it's 3 layers. So it depends on how sharp your blade is. Okay, so now I'm going to separate those. So there's my one piece. Now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to cut it again. So I'm just going to set that to the side. Now I'm going to come in here. Now again, any angle, right? Again, I said I'm not going to go with a corner. Sometimes piecing a corner is hard. So I'm going to go a little bit down from here and then just come across. Okay, so I'm not really paying attention to sizes per se, I'm just going with it. Okay, so there are my next 2 cuts. So now I'm going to put them right there, bring this third set back. Okay, so there is my stack cut part of it. Now we're going to shuffle them. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the layers off. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now I'm going to shuffle who gets what part of which piece, so that there's one part of each pattern in my final layouts. Okay, so these are going to get mounted on my wild wheat. So I'm going to go like this, and then that one's going to go like that, and then this one's going to go in the bottom. Okay, and I have just a tiny little 1/16 of an edge on my cardstock mount, so I have to remember that when I'm mounting them, that I only left a little bit, not my typical 1/8 inch, only a 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so that's how one will look. And we're going to put that onto a Lost Lagoon. And so you can see that these pieces are just going to be, that's it, they're pieces, right? We're putting the pieces back together. Okay, so I'm just going to try to shimmy these underneath. And I do have one piece of Pool Party for a base, and I don't know which one I'm going to use that on. Or maybe I'll change my mind. Okay, Pool Party and then another Lost Lagoon. Alright, so those are my sections. I'm going to get 3 cards out of that stack, cut, and shuffle technique. So let me just use one, and let me put it together for you. So with liquid adhesive, I'm going to open a new one because that way I hopefully won't have any trouble with it. With my liquid adhesive, I'm going to lightly put down, well, see, even that side's pretty. Lightly put down along my edges. And then I'm going to put this one across the top. And remember, I've got a skinny little frame this time, so I want to go close to the top. Now, my corner framing should be equal, so that kind of gives me a little bit of a check on that. And then this one's going to go in here. Again, that's a really pretty pattern right there. Goes this way. Alright, so I'm just going to slide that in. I'm lining up my straight edge here. So that's why I didn't go with the corner, that because me aligned for the straight edge, and I just marry it up with that cut there. Okay, and then the last one's going to go right down here. Okay, so stack, cut, shuffle. How easy was that? Alright, so now I'm going to just fold my base in half and give it a crease with my bone folder. Okay, and then I've got that to go on the top. I could do it with dimensionals or not. Now, I decided I wanted to use my Timeless Arrangements bundle, which I've not used enough, so I have to start using again. And I've already done some pre-cut so I can just make my sentiment tag. So I have a large rectangle, and then I've used the same colors, and I've die cut some of the sprigs, right, that we put on the back to create. So let me show you how I'm going to do this. I'm going to stamp I Really Appreciate You, and I think I'm going to do it in the Lost Lagoon. So in Lost Lagoon, I'm going to stamp on my rectangle. Okay, so now I'm going to make a nice little fancy tag here. So here are our little sprigs. Now our sprigs are designed to stack with each other. That's why they have these bars on them. Okay, and I've just done them in coordinating colors. So I'm going to start with the lightest blue, the Pool Party. And all I'm going to do, sometimes you can stack them first and then put them on the back. I'm just going to build it upside down. So I'm going to take my Pool Party, put it down, and line up my bar with the edge of my tag. Okay, and then I'm going to turn around, I'm going to do the other side. So a little bit of adhesive. If it wants to cooperate, I just opened it, right? Come on. There we go. A little bit of adhesive, and then put my bar down. And I'm just lining it up with the edge of that tag. And give it a little press. Okay, and then I'm going to put on the next blue shade, which is the Lost Lagoon. And you can shift it a little bit if you want, one way or the other, so that those flowers will be overlapping but not directly behind each other, and they're kind of designed for that too, so you've got a little wiggle room in there. So I want that more this way, I think. Okay, so far I've got this, and then I've got that one with the sprigs. I want to go on the bottom or on the top? Maybe I want to skip it altogether. No, I think I do want it. I think I want it on the bottom though. Alright. So, this one on, flip it over, steady on the table. Okay, so now, because I've built up that tag, I'm going to put that on dimensionals to put it on my project. because putting adhesive in here right now would not sit well. So you kind of have to build up that center with dimensionals. And then this is going to go right on my mat here. So I could put it right where they come together if I wanted to, or I could offset it, but I'm going to put it right over that center where those 3 cuts come together. Okay, and then that is going to go on my card. I think I'll just put it down with liquid adhesive. That way it doesn't get too thick. So that was pretty simple, huh? Alright, let me try another one. Alright, this one I'm going to do the pool party. And just because I'm curious, if I flip them over, would I like what I get? Well, it would work. But I think I'm going to go back to those because I think I like those better. I just don't like this one. If I had cut these 2 panels and then had this one, I might like, oh, it is like that. Can I do that? Oh my. See, I sit down to play and then I really play. Will it work? It will work. Alright, I'm actually going to turn it around though. Alright, so see, stamping on the fly, I change it up. Alright, let's see how this goes. So I've got this one. Here. Again, I got a really skinny edge. And this one is going to go there. Now, normally you could flip them over just fine. And remember, when I cut it, this one would fit this way, right? That's how it would fit perfectly. But because I flipped it over, I got lucky, guys. I got lucky that this was kind of a symmetrical rectangle. Okay, I couldn't have done that if I planned it. So sometimes you could flip it over and then take your pick, but most of the time you'd have to flip all 3 pieces over. So I just got really lucky. Maybe it's my mathematical brain. It stepped in and helped me on that one. But normally that wouldn't work. Alright, so this one I've already got creased, and this one's going to go on here. Maybe I'll go that way. Okay. So these are kind of fun, right? You're going to get very different projects depending on what you decide to put together. Now I've already done 2 other tags. I've got one that has thank you on it, and I have one that has hope your day is filled with everything good. I think I like the thank you one on there better. So I've already got dimensionals on here. I'm just going to pop this down, put this on. Okay, so there's two of the projects, and should I just go ahead and do the 3rd one? So if you don't want to watch the last one, you go ahead and check out. I know we all have busy days and you kind of get the idea from now, but if you want to see where we end up, stay tuned. I'll put this last one together real quick, and then I'll have my trio of projects all done and ready to go. Alright, so remember, skinny border on this one. You just have to be cognizant of how tight a border you've mounted on. Okay? And here's a little thing. I got lucky mounting these all up. Now watch, I'll screw this last one up. But if you were to mount these on your mount and then it wasn't quite straight, or you didn't get your edges quite lined up the way you wanted them to, just take it to your paper trimmer and trim off the excess mount all the way around. So you actually probably cut it down a little bit smaller than the original size of your DSP. And then you could either just mount it again or just use it the way it is. Okay? So don't panic if you don't get your 3 pieces mounted with a perfect edge around the side, right? A perfect frame. Just go with the flow, trim it down, make it look pretty, and then move forward. Okay? You don't have to stress over it. Let's see. Yeah, I think I want the blue on top. Okay. There's that. And then my last tag. So all I did, guys, was use the 3 colors in the DSP as my bases and my ink color and my embellishments here that I die cut. And then it all paired really well together. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed my first rendition of Stack, Cut, Shuffle. That was fun. And I will definitely be doing that again because I have all kinds of fun paper, and I'm sure you do too, that you can craft with. Alright guys, leave me a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed my presentation today. Remember, you can join my newsletter. Links are below. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment or reach out by email. Alright, until next time, do some fun stamping. Bye-bye.